What if ancient people discovered electricity long before the modern world? What if one small object buried in dust could change how we imagine the past? At first glance, it does not look impressive. Just a clay jar with copper, iron, and a strange design inside. But that simple object created a huge question. Was it a battery? Or are we misunderstanding it completely? Today, many people know it as the Baghdad Battery, and even its name sounds like a mystery from another age. The object was found near ancient Mesopotamia, a region already famous for trade, craftsmanship, and early civilization. Inside the jar, researchers found a copper cylinder, and inside that cylinder, an iron rod. That combination immediately caught attention, because copper, iron, and liquid can sometimes produce a small electric charge. Suddenly, the question became irresistible. Did ancient people build something that worked like a battery? Imagine that for a moment. A world of clay, bronze, candles, and temples, somehow touching the edge of electricity. It sounds almost impossible, and that is exactly why the story became so famous. Some researchers suggested the jar may have held an acidic liquid, vinegar, grape juice, or another solution, enough to create a weak current. If that were true, the object could produce electricity, not enough to power a city, but enough to create a small effect. That possibility changed everything, because it hinted that ancient technology might have gone farther than we thought. But here is where the mystery deepens. No one knows for certain that it was really used as a battery. There is no ancient text clearly saying, this object makes electricity. There is no direct proof showing exactly how it was used. And that makes historians careful, because a strange object is not the same as a proven machine. Some experts believe it may have had a practical purpose. Others think it may have been ritual, symbolic, or something else entirely. One theory says it could have been used for electroplating. A tiny current might help place a thin layer of metal onto another object. That sounds exciting, but the evidence is still debated and not everyone accepts it. Another possibility is much simpler. Maybe it was just a storage vessel, or part of a different craft process. That is what makes the Baghdad Battery so powerful as a story. It lives exactly in the space between evidence and imagination. We want it to be true, because the idea is thrilling. Ancient electricity, hidden in plain sight. But real history is not built on excitement alone. It must survive questions, doubt, and careful examination. And still, the object refuses to become ordinary. Its shape, its materials, and its strange design keep pulling people back. A clay jar should not feel futuristic, and yet somehow, this one does. That is why it still fascinates historians, archaeologists, and curious viewers today. Not because it gives easy answers, but because it does not. The Baghdad Battery reminds us of something important. Ancient people were not primitive minds living simple lives. They experimented. They observed. They built, tested, crafted, and solved problems in ways we still do not fully understand. Maybe it really was an ancient battery. Maybe it was something entirely different. But either way, it forces us to look at history differently. Not as a straight line from ignorance to progress, but as a world full of lost ideas, missing evidence, and unfinished questions. And sometimes, one small jar is enough to make the whole past feel electric.